It not just failed, but it failed, a lot more badly than what I think even analysts were anticipating going into the weekend. Can you break down the results and what went so badly wrong?
Yeah, sure, absolutely, Heidi. So basically, to pass in Australia a referendum to change the constitution needs a majority of support across the country and a majority of support in the states, so the 6 states. It got neither of those, and it failed by a significant margin. At this stage, we're looking at about 60% voting for no and just 40% voting for yes. And every state has now projected to reject the referendum. So instead of getting 4 out of 6, it gets 0 out of 6. The only sort of very minor spots of light for the yes campaign are the Australian Capital Territory, home to the capital, Canberra, did vote yes. And it looks like remote Indigenous communities did vote yes by a significant margin as well.
Prime Minister Albanese pledged to hold this referendum at the height of his popularity. We've seen his popularity really plunging at the end of the campaign. So what will this actually mean for his government?
Yeah, look, it's going to take some time to come out in the wash to see exactly what it means. But what we know at this stage is that there are going to be questions raised inside his party about his campaigning ability and about his policy direction. But that could be about as far as the political damage extends at this stage. There was a poll last week which showed that Indigenous issues, including the voice, are fairly low down on Australia's priorities at this particular point in time. They're far more interested in cost of living, inflation problems, and obviously health and education. So if the Prime Minister can now switch his focus to issues of cost of living, which some of his colleagues are calling for him to do, there is a chance that this might end up actually not affecting his political outcomes that much.
Ben, when it comes to the voice and the broader process of reconciliation, what comes now? Because we've seen Indigenous leaders, a lot of them take a step back and, in fact, going into a week of silence before they'll even comment any further on what comes next.
Sure. So the Prime Minister has said on referendum night that he intends to continue the process referendum and continue the process of trying to raise quality of living outcomes for Indigenous Australians who have some of the worst lifestyle outcomes in Australia. But we haven't seen any specific policy suggestions from him at this stage. There are reports today that he might be looking to set up just a very personal voice, so one just to him and to his office, which can receive advice on Indigenous Australians. At the same time, from the other side of politics, the Conservatives have said that they will hold a audit into Indigenous spending on Indigenous Australians if they win power, as well as a Royal Commission into child sexual abuse. Although opposition leader Peter Dutton this morning did appear to walk back his promise during the referendum campaign to hold a second referendum to put Indigenous Australians into the Constitution.